Hello agents, I am Mountie Carl, and you will notice that this is not the typical good morning, good afternoon, and good evening Division video, because what I have for you today is a video that has been a long time in the making. Actually, since I have you here right now, it has been one of those videos I've contemplated over since I finished the main story of The Division. It started with a simple question: why does the days, nights, story, anything in The Division never progress? So right now, this is your last chance. There's no turning back from this. You take and you turn off this video, the story never ends for you. You wonder what happened to Aaron Keener, and you continue to long for that story. You log in over and over again, never knowing if new content is coming, and you believe whatever you want to believe in the end. However, you keep watching this video, you stay here, and I show you how far the rabbit hole goes. Well, you decided to stay. Well, then, the first thing you must know is that the date is not 2015. The date is 2017. You just don't realize it because you're not aware of the world around you, only aware that you are a Division agent who has been activated and sent to New York. This is the world you have known since March of 2016, and despite the fact that you believe that it is still 2015, just days, mere weeks after a worldwide pandemic of the dollar flu, this pandemic never actually happened. You're wondering at this point, how did it not happen? Everything that you've known and seen says that it happened, but it did not. What you experienced is a virtual simulation to see how agents respond and deal with certain situations after being activated. You may recognize the term Operation Dark Winter, which was the initial test which occurred in 2001 and was just the first phase. Many years later, about 14 to be exact, they had agents who had never been activated and never even seen field testing, and they feared that their training may not hold up over time, so they created Operation First Wave. Agents were brought in for routine medical testing, and while here, sedated and hooked up to a virtual environment, these agents believed that they went through some sort of test, and once they had finished and completed that, they were sent home, and months later, they believed they were activated. Operation First Wave showed initial promise, but they had a high contingency of rogue agents. When they were introduced with moral dilemmas, many agents turned, and after the simulation, they were indeed deactivated, remembering little more than a routine doctor's visit and not knowing why. Their memories erased. Operation Second Wave was meant to test the loyalty of the agents when confronting not only the same moral choices, but confronting those fellow First Wave agents and their avatars that had been placed in the game. They had to be tested and reaffirm that agents that went rogue were doing it for malicious means in order to build more loyalty. To help build on this, tapes, recordings, and other remnants left behind by people to make the situation seem dire were placed where agents would easily find them, grounding them in their humanity and believing that what was happening around them was indeed happening.
Doesn't sound so scary, does it?
First Wave agents were made to see and be seen as evil, traitorous, even willing to kill their own friends if things didn't work out for them. This operation was used to build loyalty and build loyal Division agents who would not waver in their choice to be loyal to the cause 100%. Anything or anyone that got in their way was a combatant, from groups of paramilitary agents who were there to keep the peace in the city.
It could be once again if someone had the guts to fight for it. If there were men willing to go out in the streets and take them back from the degenerates and lowlifes who ruled them now.
To any faction that was trying to help, no matter what their method or reason. These were hostile to the Division and the cause, and no matter what, needed to be eliminated.
And those who stand against us, may God have mercy on their souls. Bliss out.
This was first noticed by myself as I began questioning why, even after so many weeks, why were municipalities still running? Then I noticed the vehicles. Many still had their lights on, blinkers flashing, but the batteries never seemed to drain no matter how long time went by. It was then I realized that this world may not be what it seemed. I started having sudden instances of deja vu, experienced many of the same events as though I had seen them before. People who had shot and killed just days earlier showing up in the same spot over and over again, and being able to adjust the difficulty of a mission, or missions being more difficult based on whether or not additional agents were there, and it made things harder. I started noticing sudden changes. One day my gun would be powerful. The next it felt like I was shooting BBs. That's when I started seeing supply drops come in. Supply drops would come in and we would get new gear. Then all of the combatants had the gear and were dropping it when they died. But I never questioned why. Why wouldn't they wear the gear that they had or use it themselves, even though a lot of them, had it? Things just didn't seem to add up. I asked Fei Lao, who just told me that she wished she could be out there. And when I asked Paul Rhodes, he ignored me completely, saying he had shit to do. Nothing made sense in this world. I asked Jessica how Fei Lao's injuries were doing, and she didn't even have an answer. Despite it feeling like it had been several months in, Fei Lao's eagerness to get out in the field never matched the speed at which she healed. I mean, I was taking bullet after bullet, and here she had a bandage over her face while I just went to bed every night, sometimes not even then, without even a scratch. I started questioning everything. How was I able to see echoes? Who was Isaac? And how was I able to hear him in my mind? But I didn't ever have an earpiece. How was I able to run mission after mission over and over again with the ability to change things each time? Who was Aaron Keener? I had never even heard of him before until I got here. Where were the other first wave agents? Were there any alive? Where were they? Why was the dark zone walled off? And why can't the shade tech work inside? Does garbage bags and tarps really block the signal? How was I able to throw mobile cover and slide through a door? I started to realize that maybe this world was not real. The world around me was fabricated like that of a bad 90s movie. It was the world that had been pulled over my eyes.
And to cut down all the liars and murderers and thieves who stand in the way of peace. We will not look back. We will not compromise. We will do whatever it takes to ensure a better tomorrow for all those who stand with us.
But we don't leave people behind. We're here to make sure this city doesn't get left behind.
All right, Agent, so that may or may not be true, but it makes sense, right? It makes sense that The Division, isn't a story of agents in a secret organization brought in to help a situation that had gotten out of control. I mean, most of the people are dead in there. Wouldn't they just call in the military to go in and clean up and do whatever they need to do? Why is there a JTF who are significantly underarmed going into a city where there's, gangs of people, prisoners, paramilitary people, or any of that? Like, why wouldn't they send in real military people? Five guys or 4 guys aren't going to go in no matter how good they're trained. SEAL Team 6 isn't going in and cleaning up 500,000 people going at them with guns. It's just virtually impossible to be able to do that. I mean, this is just a mere week. I mean, this is like a mere week after, this whole thing happened, or a month, whatever it is. There isn't a reason behind sending in a few agents after it was already determined that the first set of agents went rogue and killed any of the ones that didn't want to join them. Why would they send another crop? It makes absolutely no sense unless what I just explained to you previously was 100% true. I mean, this is the conspiracy of that's Rick Velasquez talking about. This is what all those people are talking about. This is why you can't get off the island. This is why you can't leave. There are helicopters, all that shit. That is going down. I mean, this is just a mere week, even a month after the original outbreak. So how did Aaron Keener build a giant wall that we know as the Dark Zone in that amount of time? It's virtually impossible to be able to build a wall, no matter how many people you have around that area, with the little manpower that he had. Even with all of the LMB at his disposal, I doubt Colonel Bliss was in the mood to help him out. Yes, I am sure, take all my men and let's just burn the bodies and build a wall around the entire area and go. The timeline makes zero sense for this. The only thing that makes sense is what I just explained to you, that this was not something that is supposed to be a story. It's not supposed to be a story. It is supposed to be you are role-playing an agent who has been placed into a computer simulation to test every metal of your body, to test your loyalty, to test, basically everything about you, so that when you're done, you can go out and you can be activated afterwards. And this is what they're doing. They're sorting through the people. One set of people get to go on, the other set get to leave. So if you've ever gone rogue, or, you go rogue 100 times or whatever it is, or you just end up going rogue and manhunt all the time, you're getting deactivated after this is all done. Doesn't even matter. I mean, even with all of the LMB, it's impossible that the amount of work that was done in that little time was done so within a time frame that makes sense. I mean, the Dark Zone is huge and it just expanded. How did it expand without, building anything? It's not like Aaron Keener came back and built on an additional part of the Dark Zone. It has to be that this is all a conspiracy. None of what you're experiencing is real, in the sense that you are in there playing an actual agent that has been activated. That is the thing. So you're playing what you think is an agent that has been activated within the division. Look at the technology you're using. There is no such technology that is available today that will allow you to see echoes, that allow you to hear Isaac's voice, a computer generated voice, to search for virus stuff. Look at the virus. How do you walk in without a filter and a virus kills you like that without breathing, and you walk out, it doesn't infect you? I mean, there are definitely things that, make this seem more of a virtual simulation, and you're playing a guy who's playing a virtual simulation. That's basically what it is. It's like getting a tattoo of a guy getting a tattoo on his butt of a guy getting a tattoo on his butt. It's the matrix that has been wrapped around you. And if the wall was built, did Mexico pay for it? That's what we want to know. Did Mexico pay for that? I'm just kidding. I'm just spouting off nonsense. But now, seriously, when is the division taking place? Because if the division takes place anywhere in the first, so we have the timeline. This happened Black Friday, and sure, yes, it probably, a week or 2 weeks before everybody was killed off. So now we're into December, but the first wave agents came in. What exactly was the job of the first wave agent? It doesn't say what they were there to do, other than what you can imagine, that they were there to do what you were supposed to do. But it doesn't seem, Aaron Keener tried to hold the Dark Zone, was the lore, and look at all that. Look at all that had been done. So if by the time the first wave agents had got into the New York City and figured out the Dark Zone and all of that, how long could that have been? There's no way that was built in a week. Rome wasn't built in a day. That's the saying. So how was the Dark Zone wall built within any reasonable amount of time? It's impossible. It doesn't make any sense unless this was a story fabricated from just absolute, just the ability to train loyal agents. That is the one thing. The only true explanation, the one true reason why there isn't an end to Aaron Keener, why this story ended with him walking out and giving agents an ultimatum, is one final test to show that an agent would be loyal under the most strenuous of circumstances, given all of the factual evidence of everything that had gone on. Aaron Keener allows you to make that decision as to whether you're going to continue to be an agent or whether you are going in the deactivation pile at the end. That is the true test of what is going on. And guess what? Many of us they didn't give us the answer. That's really what they should have done. Even Rick Velasquez's podcast is made in such a way that it presents agents with a disparaging view of what is going on within the world. The story that I hate, this story of the woman dragging her kid and getting shot in the back of the head by a guy. These are all things to disparage and make agents feel like there is nothing left in the world for them and that this is it. That is the one thing. And to be truthful, the only way out is to exit the simulation. But we still log in despite the fact that there are 2 boats in the harbor that, you could easily evac an agent once they have finished the mission. There's a helicopter sitting on the launch pad in the Hudson area. The agents are free to leave anytime. And guess what? The sense of moral obligation to stay on the island is the true test of loyalty that agents go through. Staying until all of New York has been taken back over. Everything that happens in the Division is a test to see if the agent at the heart of them is truly loyal and will do anything to get the job done, or you leave and join Aaron Keener, and if that happens, the helmet comes off and you are dismissed, your memory erased of anything that happened in the dark, of what was going on. You can't do anything. You are gone. You are deactivated. You are no longer a Division agent. And that is the true test. The Dark Zone, that's right. The only time you can go rogue, is in the Dark Zone, when you are hidden from Division's sight, where they can't see you. They don't know who's loyal or not in the Dark Zone because shade tech apparently doesn't work through plastic bags, plywood, and chain link fencing. Bullshit. It's the Dark Zone because it's a glitch in the simulation. For all we know, Aaron Keener is a damn self-aware AI and he thinks this is a real game, and he is messing with us. We got the virus. He got the virus to try and spread it, and he's just getting started. This is the Division. You are not in a real. You need to realize that you are not a real Division agent yet. You still have to finish what you have started, and this is it. Anyways, that is my time. I hope you've enjoyed this conspiracy theory crafting of what is going on inside the Division, why Aaron Keener doesn't have an ending story, all of the different things that are happening in the Division, what is going on, who is this? It's all explained by being a virtual simulation in a test to make agents loyal and figure out how to make loyal agents loyal. I'm sure I could go through and dig up a ton of more lore if I continue to research all of this stuff, but I don't have the time to do it. So I'm going to expect my friends and my family here at Gun Brothers Gaming to help me find out all of this stuff, put all of the lore that explains my theory down in the comments section. I'm going to get Hamish, I'm going to get Matt, I'm going to get all of these people out here, and I'm going to put this out there to them, and I'm going to make them explain that my theory, that I have been the first person to figure out what is going on in the Division, that this is not real, that it was never meant to be real, and it's a simulated task for agents who need to be proven to be loyal because of what happened with the first wave agents. Because if not, Operation Dark Winter happened in June of 2001. If that was true, then when 9/11 happened, Division agents would have been activated in New York, but they weren't. They weren't activated in New York. So there you have it. Roy Benitez, he is there. He can testify. He was a first responder. And I saw someone say that, Paul Rhodes and Roy Benitez, they're all Division agents. No, they're not Division agents. Those Jessica, Paul, Roy, they are not Division agents. They're just helping you out. Fei Lao is the only other Division agent that you physically meet while you are there. So that is the truth, except for the guy that dies at the beginning and, whatever dossier else, you do. But you don't actually meet any other Division agents except for us, the other people in the simulation with you. So chew on that. That's a lot to think about right now. I've probably blown a lot of people's minds here. Go ahead, even if you think this is stupid, just leave it down. It's really all in good fun. I'm having a lot of fun with this, and I just want to add another level to the Division and let you guys think about something that you guys probably haven't thought about before. Go back, listen to the tapes, watch the videos, see how they are all driving toward one unique goal, and that is to show first wave agents as the evil, traitorous agents that want to try to woo you over to their side or kill you, and not to be like them. They want you to be loyal, good, civil servants who will do whatever they ask you to do without question. So thank you very much for listening to this. This has been great. I've had a lot of fun with it. Thank you all for listening. I know this is like 20 minutes now, so thank you all again. I'm going to get out of here. I'm Mounty Carl. Thank you all again. Agent out.
Oh,
By the way, if you liked this, drop a like on the video. If you didn't, though, alright, well, that's fine. But if you didn't, you know, subscribe for more Division content. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up. And, you know, we're going to be playing some more Division. So, woohoo! Alright, Agent out for real this time. See you guys later.